Assalamu alaikum, welcome back. I'm Ayman Thunasha from Majidia School. I teach accounts. Now this is second lesson on ratio analysis. Let's recall what we have studied in our first lesson. As I told you before, it is necessary to analyze and interpret financial statements in order to assess the business performance and progress. To obtain this comparison to be carried out in more meaningful way, the results are usually expressed as an accounting ratios. As you can see from these accounting ratios are mainly divided into two groups. They are profitability ratios and liquidity ratios. In last class we have studied the types of liquidity ratios, and they are gross profit margin and return on capital employed. And today's lesson I'll focus on liquidity ratios, and by the end of today's lesson students will be able to understand, calculate and explain the importance of the following liquidity ratios. The term liquidity relates to money. Liquidity ratio, it indicates the ability of business to repay short-term debts. In other words, it measures the business ability to convert its current assets into cash in order to pay their current liabilities or short-term debts. So that's why it's very important to measure a business liquidity, because a business needs to have adequate cash flow to operate efficiently and meet its financial obligation, which means that business want to check whether they have enough cash in order to meet their day-to-day expenses, and at the same time suppliers and lenders need to assess the business ability to pay debts. So before selling goods on credit, suppliers want to check the liquidity position of the business to check whether the business is able to pay their debts on time. And lenders also wants to check business liquidity position before giving loans to the business. Under liquidity ratios there are 5 ratios. They are current ratio, liquid ratio, rate of inventory turnover, trade receivables turnover and trade payables turnover. First look at current ratio. This ratio is also known as working capital ratio. This ratio measures the ability of a business to meet its current liabilities when they fall due. So using this ratio, the business can check whether they have enough current assets to meet its current liabilities. This ratio satisfactory level or recommended level is in between 1.5:1 and 2:1. Which means that every $1 of current liability, the business should have $2 of current assets in order to pay their immediate debts. So if current ratio is below the recommended level, then they might have some difficulties in paying their immediate debts. At the same time, if the current ratio is over 2:1, it may indicate poor management of the current assets. So it means that the business might be having more cash in the bank, so they can use this money to expand the business instead of keeping money in the bank. The formula to calculate current ratio is current asset over current liabilities. So in order to calculate this ratio, it's very important to know what are the current assets and what are the current liabilities. So let's see what are the current assets. So mainly there are 5 current assets. They are inventory, trade receivable, cash or petty cash, bank and other receivable. Let's recall what are the current liabilities. They are trade payables, bank overdraft and other payables. Now here you can see statement of financial position of teleclass trader. So you are asked to calculate current ratio. The formula is current assets over current liability. So in this business, they have 3 current assets. They are inventory 11,500, trade receivable 7,500 and cash 2,000. And they have 2 current liabilities, that is trade payable 12,500, bank overdraft 10,250. So when we add total current assets in this business, it is 21,000, and total current liabilities is 22,750. So when we divide current assets by current liabilities, this business current ratio is 0.92:1, which means that every $1 of current liability, teleclass trader has $0.92 of current asset in order to pay their immediate debts. So in this business, their current ratio is below the recommended level of 2:1. So what might be the reason? We can say that current asset is less than the current liabilities, but that answer is more general, right? So in order to write a specific answer, let's look at the statement of financial position. So as you can see from here, teleclass trader, they have an overdraft of 10,250. So because of this, their current assets will decrease. So we can say because of the bank overdraft, their current ratio is below the recommended level. Maybe they have spent more money on purchasing non-current asset. So what might be the problems that teleclass trader might face because of this current ratio? The suppliers may refuse to sell goods on credit because they do not have enough current assets to meet their current liability. They cannot meet liabilities when they are due. It means that business won't be able to pay trade payables on time. So because of that, the business cannot take the advantage of cash discount. Okay, let's see how can teleclass trader they can improve this ratio. Of course, that's by increasing current asset. So in order to increase current asset, we have to increase bank balance. So this can be done by owner can bring additional capital, or they can take a long-term loan, or they can sell unused non-current assets, or by reducing drawings. So from this slide, we came to know that if the current ratio is below the recommended level, the business might face some problems, like traders may refuse to sell goods on credit. If the business is unable to pay trade payables on time, they cannot take advantages of cash discount. And also we have learned how to improve current ratio. That's by taking a long-term loan and by selling unused non-current assets. But before writing ways to improve, we have to check whether business is a limited company or a sole trader. If it's a limited company, instead of we cannot write owner can introduce additional capital. Instead of that, we have to write issue more shares. Quick ratio. This ratio is also known as acid test ratio. The satisfactory level or recommended level of this ratio is 1:1, which means that every $1 of current liability, the business has $1 of liquid assets to pay its immediate debts. The formula to calculate quick ratio is current assets minus inventory divided by current liabilities. The calculation of quick ratio is very much similar to current ratio. The only different thing here is we are excluding inventory. The formula to calculate quick ratio is current asset minus inventory divided by current liability. The only difference here is we are excluding inventory because inventory is not a liquid asset. In order to convert inventory into a liquid asset, we have to first sell the inventory. After that, we have to collect money from the trade receivable. So here you are asked to calculate quick ratio, and the formula is current asset minus inventory over current liabilities. So in this business, current asset is 21,000 and inventory figure is 11,500. and their current liabilities figure is 12,500 plus 10,250. So 21,000 is the total current assets, and 11,500 is the inventory figure. 22,750 is the total current liabilities figure. So quick ratio is 9,500 divided by 22,750. It is 0.42:1. So it means that every $1 of current liability, teleclass trader has 0.42 liquid assets to pay their immediate debts. Here liquid assets mean because inventory is not included in this formula, that is why. So this ratio is also below the recommended level of 1:1. Again, the business faced difficulty in paying their immediate debts. So reasons might be same as I explained before in calculating current ratio. Other than that, we can include this might be due to high amount of inventory. But here also, if you are asked to write the reason, you can write this might be due to bank overdraft, or maybe they have spent more money on purchasing non-current assets. Okay, next one is inventory turnover. It shows the number of times goods are sold and replaced, but rate of inventory turnover differs from the types of the business. For example, if they are selling luxury items like jewelry and private jet planes, then rate of inventory turnover will be less compared to the business those who are selling low inventory goods like newspapers and bread. The formula to calculate inventory turnover is cost of goods sold divided by average inventory. Now, cost of sales, cost of goods sold you can find from the income statement, and average inventory you have to calculate. The formula to calculate average inventory is opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. Now here is the income statement of teleclass trader, and you are asked to calculate inventory turnover. And the formula is cost of goods sold divided by average inventory. In this business, cost of goods sold is 93,000. Average inventory formula is opening inventory plus closing inventory divided by 2. So in this question, opening inventory is 7,500 and closing inventory is 11,500. So average inventory is 7,500 plus 11,500 divided by 2, it is 9,500. 93,000 divided by 9,500 is equal to 9.7 times. So it means that teleclass trader were able to rotate their inventory within a year 9.7 times. For example, let us say 2018, rate of inventory turnover is 14 times. So let us compare rate of inventory turnover over the 2 years. It has decreased, right? So what might be the reason for this? Maybe the business is holding too much inventory. Goods are not popular because they are outdated or overpriced. So if it's decreasing over the years, then the business have to take some steps to increase rate of inventory turnover, because if it is decreasing, it will affect the liquidity ratio, because then there will be unsold goods will be increased. Because of that, the warehouse expenses will also increase. Okay, next one is trade receivable turnover. This is also referred as trade receivable or sales ratio. It measures the average time the credit customer take to pay their accounts. It should be compared with the credit allowed to them. This is calculated using the following formula, that is trade receivables over credit sales times 365. But if you are asked to calculate this ratio for number of weeks, then the formula is trade receivables divided by credit sales times 52. And if you are asked to calculate this ratio for number of months, then you have to use trade receivables divided by credit sales times 12. Okay, last one under liquidity ratio is trade payable turnover. This is also referred as trade payable or purchase ratio. It measures the average time taken to pay the accounts of credit suppliers. It should be compared with the term of credit allowed by the suppliers. And the formula to calculate this ratio is trade payables divided by credit purchases times 365. Here also, if you are asked to calculate number of weeks, then you have to multiply 52, and if you are asked to calculate number of months, then you have to multiply by 12. So here is the income statement and statement of financial position of teleclass trader, and you are asked to calculate trade receivable turnover. And the formula is trade receivables divided by credit sales times 365. So as you can see from teleclass statement of financial position, their trade receivable amount is 7,500 and revenue figure is 120,000. So assume that in this teleclass trader, they are buying and selling goods on credit. So 7,500 divided by 120,000 times 365 is equal to 23 days. So which means that an average of 23 days the trade receivable is taking to pay their debts. So for example, let's say in this business their credit control period allowed is 30 days. So when we compare their credit control period with the trade receivable turnover, it has decreased, right? So the advantage is that the money can be used for other purposes. If it is decreasing compared to the credit control period, it means that credit policy is being applied more effectively. And disadvantage that the business cannot, because business have to give cash discount to the trade receivables if they are paying on time. So here you are asked to calculate trade payables turnover, and the formula is trade payables divided by credit purchases times 365. In this business, trade payable amount is 12,500 and their purchase figure is 97,000. 12,500 divided by 97,000 times 365 is equal to 47 days, which means that the an average of 47 days the business is taking to pay their money to the trade payables. So for example, let's say in this business credit control allow is 30 days and their trade payable turnover is 47 days. So when we compare trade payable turnover with the credit control allowed, it has increased from 30 days to 47 days. Because of this, there is an advantage of the business, that is the money can be used for other purposes. And there are some disadvantages also, that is the supplier refusing credit in the future, because if they are taking more days to pay their trade payable, in the future the supplier may refuse sell goods on credit. And also they cannot take advantage of cash discounts, damage to the relationship with the supplier. So in today's lesson we have studied what are the type of liquidity ratios. They are current ratio, quick ratio, rate of inventory turnover, trade payable turnover and trade receivables turnover. And also we have studied how to calculate current ratio, liquid ratio, rate of inventory turnover, trade receivables turnover and the trade payables turnover. And also we have studied how to improve liquidity ratios, that's by bringing additional capital or selling unused non-current assets or taking a long-term loan. Okay, that's all for today, and next lesson I'll focus on past paper questions on this topic. Thank you.